And we're back with Optimum's Meet the Leaders. I'm David Smith here in Hartford, talking with the movers and shakers and those who are getting things done, or hopefully will be getting things done with the new session. And we've got Representative Gail Lavielle of the 143rd District with us of Wilton and Norwalk. It's good to have you here. How are you?
Good morning, David. It's nice to be here.
Welcome. You look bright and buoyant in your red. That's an optimistic color to begin with.
Well, red is always a good color.
We've got a lot of work to do this session, don't we, in a short period of time.
We do, and there are a number of things that are urgent and have been very urgent actually for a long time in Connecticut, and as the days go by they become more urgent. One of them is obviously the job situation. Right. Another is the fact that we have the largest achievement gap in the country, and the other is that we have a 19th century infrastructure that's affecting our transportation, and it's also affecting our utilities, as we've seen.
You know, I was catching some good news today that a lot more of those M8 cars are now on the train, on the Metro North trains. They're up to about a quarter of them. Long way still to go. Well, but you've got some smiling commuters along the way now with these new and improved cars.
It's coming along, but actually, more to the point, the infrastructure of both the main New Haven line and its branches is still very 19th century. We've got catenary wires that are falling down. The branch lines aren't compatible with the main line. We have fewer through trains. They don't go fast enough. It's very inconvenient. And meanwhile, there's bonding of $600 million to build a busway from New Britain to Hartford that we don't even know the ridership figures for. And in Fairfield County on the New Haven line, we have 38 million passenger rides a year and 48% of the taxes paid in the state. I think we should rearrange our priorities. But
your busway comment, interesting, because the busway rears its head for a lot of folks out east and kind of has gotten lost in the shuffle for many in the Fairfield County region. And this is something that I think a lot of people are scratching their heads about. Why a busway out there?
Well, I am too. And I think we would do well.
That's a done deal, though, is that correct?
Well, that's what they say, but
okay.
I think it's never too late to review transportation priorities and reorder them. And that's one of the things I've been advocating.
Because as you say, the Danbury branch and
the New Canaan branch and even the Waterbury branch, frankly,
need some serious assistance.
Absolutely, but we don't have any extra money, and that's the whole point. I do want to say, during the past week, the governor has released a number of 6 or 7 very interesting education reform proposals. This is another urgency, something that we've needed to address for a long time. He has addressed many subjects like early education, school choice, professionalizing, teacher preparation, and really enhancing the quality of the profession. Lots and lots of turning around failing schools. He's addressed it all in a very comprehensive way. Bravo. The problem is, I feel like a kid in a candy store, because how are we going to pay for this? It's $128 million he's put on the table so far. It may cost more, and we are right now $145 million in deficit for the current year. We've had to pay our operating cash flow with bonding money. We had to do that in December, just like we had to do before. Moody's has downgraded the state. Our cost of borrowing is going to be higher. Revenues are not coming in as projected, and the Nonpartisan Office of Fiscal Analysis has said that they are not optimistic that it will happen. And finally, there hasn't been, it's important for people to know, there hasn't been a single cut in spending.
Back in the Rell administration, when these things were rolling along like that.
It's worse. Because now we have the largest increase, the largest tax increase in Connecticut's history, and cut no spending. It's important people realize no spending has been cut. Spending was increased. And if you have the largest tax increase in Connecticut's history and you still can't cover your spending, it's not because people aren't being taxed enough. It's because you didn't address spending. I desperately want to see these education problems addressed, but we've got to do better with the budget first.
Well, clearly you are not going to be idle.
No,
in this
certainly
shortened
not.
session. That is for sure. But we want to thank you very much for being with us. I know you got a busy day in store, and we appreciate it. We'll be talking to you more as the session goes on.
Absolutely,
Always
I
a
look
pleasure.
forward to it.
Representative Gail Lavielle joining us on this edition of Meet the Leaders here. It's been quite a time and continues to be on this opening day of the new session in Hartford. I'm David Smith. More coming up.